Well, spring is here and things are finally starting to look up. The snow is melting, the smell of vaccines are in the air, and potential for a somewhat normal summer is on the horizon. So after spending some time home with the family in the Midwest, it was time to get back on the road to California, and I decided that I wanted to document the whole trip on film using my Nikon FM2. Now, this was my first photo trip that I was going to be shooting primarily on film, and for that reason I decided to go with the dependable choice of Portra 400. So grab a coffee or beer or a drink of your choice and kick back and relax to this one. The first leg of the journey leaving the Midwest is always fun, as you get to drive the entire width of Nebraska. But it wasn't too bad this time, as we caught the southward migration of the sandhill cranes, and it made for an enjoyable evening drive through the plains. I'm really glad I got this shot on both film and digital with my Sony a6400 to kind of do a comparison and see the differences between a photo taken on film versus a photo taken on a new digital camera. Right off the bat, I noticed the color in the film photo appears to be a lot richer. You can see this in the blues of the sky and even in the green vegetation. But the digital camera does pick up a little bit more detail in the foreground shadows, whereas it gets kind of muddy in the film photo. But let me know what you think and how they compare. So both my mom and Ellen's uncle joined us for this first leg of the journey in southern Utah. It was their first time in Moab. We spent 2 full days touring around Arches and Canyonlands, and even though we had been there before, it felt so nice to just be out traversing the sandstone after what felt like a really long winter. So this is the Schaefer Canyon Road overlook in Canyonlands National Park, and I took a wide variety of photos here. I wanted to capture the tight twists and turns of the off-road trail that goes down the canyon. This film shot of the road is one of my favorites from the trip, and once again compares pretty well to the digital shot, I think. However, I do like the composition of the digital shot with the 2 Jeeps in the foreground. So after 2 full days exploring Moab, Ellen and I parted ways from our relatives, and we were on our own for the second half of the journey back to California. And this was going to be a lot of new territory for me, so I was really excited to explore some new roads. This photo is one of the only few I had problems with when I got my scans back. The colors were just really off from what it looked like in person. I'm not sure if this was a problem with the camera or with the develop and scanning side of things. It was midday and the sunlight was really harsh, so that could have affected it. But no matter what I did in Lightroom after I got the scan back, I just couldn't quite get the color back to what it was in reality. Left their Mamiya RB67 dark slide on the Sunrise Point Trail in Bryce Canyon. Hit me up, I got you. So this was my first trip where I was going to be shooting primarily on film, and it definitely made me a little nervous beforehand and during the trip, not knowing whether I was getting the photo I wanted when I was at a certain place or trying to capture a certain memory from the trip. But I'm really happy to say that just about all of the photos turned out. I shot 4 rolls from this trip, and I'm really happy with how most of them turned out, of which I shared a lot of the highlights in this video. But that's not to say that all of the photos I took were great ones. I definitely still had my fair share of bad photos and compositions I'd just like to do over again. But that's the learning curve that you just have to embrace with film, and I think it's worth it. Getting that email a couple weeks later that my scans were ready to be viewed was such a fun way to look back on the trip, have some memories, but not let gear get in the way while I was in the moment. Alright, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think of this kind of format for a video. I enjoyed making it, and I think I could definitely see myself doing a lot more of these in the future on future road trips, especially as we get into the summer. If you'd like to see more of my work, you can follow me on my Instagram, and make sure you're subscribed to this channel to see future videos as soon as they come out. Peace.